it is what it is.
Oh, yeah.
And there's not much to it. So, up next, we have the Pittsburgh Riverhounds Fortified in the 412 kit, their new third kit for this year. I'm going to say it straight up. They missed the mark.
Yeah, they shot a shot. They shot a shot. I'll give them that.
Honestly, if they would have just kept with that great cross pattern they have throughout, as you can see on the front and the back of this kit, it looks pretty nice with the cross patterns. If they would have shrunk that old base and put it into like a corner and have it overlap on both sides, I think that would have looked aesthetically a bit better. And then it would just be a simple white kit with a little bit of a little accent of a nod to that fort in the corner. But this, I just don't think it hits the mark for me. And also, it's not aligned.
Oh yeah,
So, like,
that's the point. It's tilted. Oh yeah, it's not like I see what you're saying.
it's not aligned. So, like, how can you have
This is a front and a back.
yeah, and like
It doesn't
this
like wrap around.
correct. This clearly goes. I don't know. Maybe I'm just looking at it wrong, but it feels like it doesn't fully wrap around.
No, because the
So
cool thing about these forts are they're essentially squares.
essentially, yeah.
Yeah, with the corner arrows.
Mm-hmm.
So like I feel like this almost especially for Pittsburgh could have made a hella cool checker pattern.
Mm,
Like you said, like shrink it down, but then put a bunch of them in corner to corner and just make a
right.
full checker pattern with it.
I'm just surprised they went with white. Given
Yeah.
how many teams in this league have white with a yellow, I'm looking at Charleston. Um, can't remember New Mexico United, and obviously we all know Pittsburgh has the black and yellow. So going with one kit being black with yellow, then another being yellow and gray, doing another light color in yellow seemed like a choice. I did see the Riveters had a red version, so that's why we're not talking about that one either, because it's just red.
It's
For
literally the exact same kit, guys.
yeah, but
Exact same kit.
red,
Yeah.
I would have preferred the red be their alternate instead of having one yellow and one red, in my opinion. Because I think the red would less likely clash.
Yeah. Or do that Pittsburgh Penguins baby blue.
That could tie in, yeah, to tie in with
'Cause,
the
yeah, you're
hockey
still
team.
bringing in the other teams because that's the one thing that's really cool about Pittsburgh is the black and gold.
Yep.
If you're walking black and gold, it is a Pittsburgh team. You don't know what team it is, don't know what league it is,
Pittsburgh,
but it's
though.
Pittsburgh. Yep.
Outside of the Pittsburgh, outside of University of Pittsburgh, because they're a blue and yellow, not
Well,
blue and gold.
they're
Blue
not
and
professional yet.
yellow. Well, their football team is, let's put it that way, basically,
Right.
essentially. But yeah, no, and they're obviously trying to lead into that black and yellow aesthetic. You got to be yellow in Pittsburgh, but
Right.
I think going with if they could have even just gone with that baby blue instead of white, I think this would look better. That's just me. I'm not saying it would be like a 4, but it would be better than the white. So, all right, Fox, you start us off on this one.
Design and aesthetics, I gave it 2. This isn't aesthetically pleasing. If you don't even know the forts, like I had to research the forts, kind of like what we were just talking about with the last building.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to research what they were talking about, and it's kind of cool to learn more about, the history and the what's going on in Pittsburgh. But
Right.
otherwise, I had to figure out like what are these weird arrows? Is this like a north, south, east, west compass rose situation going on, or what?
Oh.
Yeah, what's going on? And this would be a really cool compass kit too. But anyways,
Hey, I'll say real quickly, the only reason I know what this shape was, thanks to hours of playing Civilization 4. That's all I'm going to say. I knew what this looked like a fortification from my mini ones that I built in the game. So,
such a nerd.
it's what it is.
Which I say with love. Because I'm clearly in there too with my giant piplup and everything behind me. My Nickelodeon clock next to me. Authenticity tradition. I did give it 3 because they're giving a shout out to something that's special in Pittsburgh, but I feel like it's so hard to recognize.
Yeah.
Because like the last one, like I gave a 4 because they were giving a shout out to the building, but you can clearly see what it is. So this one,
Right.
if it wasn't called the Fortified kit, you might not know that it's even a fort.
Well, it's actually technically called, according to them, just their alt kit.
I feel like didn't they like their advertise I know on this, I feel like they always do that, but I feel like their advertisements called it
Their
something else.
their advertisement is what I put into the official name,
Yeah.
the Fortified and the 412 kit.
Yeah, exactly. Visual details and execution. I gave a dose because the only detailing that's in there are the forts, and I'm just gonna say forts because I feel like what you talked about. It's 2 separate forts.
At least
It's
looks
not,
like it, right?
it's not one fort that like wraps around. It's this one and then this one at a different spot.
Yeah.
And innovation and impact, I gave it 1. Like I don't think we're gonna be like it's not so bad that we're like, oh, did you see that kit? You remember that kit? Gross. But
Right.
the only thing I could feel like we could talk about later, it's like, oh, it's kind of interesting how their W team and their championship team came out with the same kit. But we could talk about that with Seattle.
Or we can even do
And,
that with AFC and Arbor, who did that as well.
yeah.
And plenty of, well, not championship and W, but men's and women's team both having same kits.
Well, yes. If we're talking about like Indy and the ones that
Yeah.
all have the exact same
So,
kit, but like these have different
yeah,
marketing
that's fair.
or
Well,
you know,
branding.
yeah, different branding, different
Cross training.
identities,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
same kit. That's what I was going at. So yeah, so
Uh,
it got a 1 from me. So all of that ended up with a 2, which is interesting how we both ended up with a 2.
yeah, mine's a little different. I
Yeah.
started off with the 1 aesthetically. I don't like the look of this, personally speaking. It just doesn't. It looks messy. Like, I think it just looks weird. And I'll just leave it at that. I did like the gray hatching on the back, that cross hatch, I'm gonna call it, which I think is nice, but it's a little too subtle, and I wish it was a little bit more present. Next we do authenticity and tradition because it is the fort there in Pittsburgh, Fort Pitt specifically. I did give him 3 there. I just couldn't give it any higher. One of the visual details, as I mentioned, the only reason this gets 2 from in execution is that crosshatch. I do like that little crosshatch pattern that they did in the background. It is a nod to their checkers that they normally do. So that is a nice little touch there. However, just the imbalance of the fort is throwing me off. And I think I've said this for several years now. White and yellow
Don't go together.
I don't like it specifically if the yellow is like the main thing in the middle. Now, like Borussia Dortmund, my team, they do produce white kits, but they have the yellow as a bit of an accent on the outsides. Whereas everything in between is a bit of a white or a gray or a black,
Yeah.
and maybe a little bit of yellow thrown in. This is having yellow being like the star on top of white.
Yeah, the design itself is a yellow design on a white canvas
Correct.
versus having like a white kit with just yellow
Correct.
detailings.
Correct. Yes. And I think that hurts for the execution part, in my opinion. And then when it comes to innovation impact, I give it a 2. I like that they did a unique shape in this shape of the old fort there, but it's just that shape. There's nothing really innovative about it. It's just a singular shape.
Just the shape.
And
Again,
I
they
think
could have done this with the checkerboard, which is still them. It's still very much Riverhounds.
what they could have done is done blue and gray, like a blue kit with that gray checker pattern on the back, and then they just throw this in over top of it, or like in the corner or something. Save
We
water.
would have complained about being too busy.
Oh yeah, I would have. That's fine.
I know I
But
would too.
or
But it would
maybe
have got a better score for sure.
it would have gotten a better score. But I think they would have, or they should have found a better way to highlight the fort personally. But regardless, I'm not here to unsolicited advice. So it's a 2 from me, it's a 2 from Bot. So do a quick average. It's a 2 from us. Now, when it comes to quick, it's kit value. This is not something to write home about. Given it's retailed at $95 currently,
Yeesh.
and a score of a 2, it's a kit value of 21.05. Ouch.
It's expensive.
It's expensive, and honestly, you're better off in probably their away kits if you like a lighter tone. So I like the gray with a yellow checker look they got better than this. So this was the Pittsburgh Riverhounds Fortified in the 4-1-2 kit for 2025.